Chapter 8 Learning. Reinforcement and punishment can be positive or negative. 4 different kinds of stimuli can change the probability that a behavior will recur. Reinforcements are stimuli that make a behavior more likely to recur. There's 2 types of reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is the addition of a stimulus following a behavior, increasing the likelihood of that behavior. Negative reinforcement is the removal of a stimulus following a behavior, increasing the likelihood of that behavior. Punishments make the behavior less likely to reoccur. There are 2 types of punishments. Positive punishment is the addition of a stimulus following a response, decreasing the likelihood of that behavior. And negative punishment is the removal of a stimulus following a response, decreasing the likelihood of that behavior. Active avoidance is especially resistant to extinction. One particular type of negative reinforcement is escaping condition. Escape condition is the subject learns to perform a response to remove an adverse stimulus. Active avoidance is a response of a subject has learned to avoid an adverse stimulus. Passive avoidance is a response the subject has learned to refrain from displaying to avoid an adverse stimulus. Learned helplessness is a type of learning in which a subject learns that an adverse stimulus cannot be avoided. The pace of rewards affect how quickly and well we learn. Reinforcement schedule is the rules determining the frequency with which an operant conditioning subject is reinforced. Continuous reinforcement schedule is the rewarding of a behavior every time it is displayed. Partial reinforcement schedule is the rewarding of a behavior only some of the time it is displayed. Fixed ratio is a schedule in which every nth response is rewarded. Variable ratio is a schedule in which the number of responses required to obtain a reward changes. Fixed interval is a schedule in which a reinforcement is provided for the first response after a fixed length of time since the last reinforcement. Variable interval is a schedule in which reinforcement for the response is provided at some variable interval of time after the last response. Primary reinforcement is a stimulus that fills a biological need of that subject already finds unpleasant. Secondary reinforcement is a stimulus that subjects come to associate with one or more primary reinforcers. 8.3 Observational learning. Edward Tolman demonstrated that rats show latent learning and that they can make a cognitive map of a maze even if not motivated by food reward. A cognitive map is an internal representation of the layout of an area.